The moment Marcus Langford, a billionaire known for his ruthless charm, stepped into the upscale restaurant, everyone held their breath. The chandeliers gleamed, silverware shone, and the rich whispered among themselves, knowing he ruled not just money but fear. A young waitress named Sofia greeted him, her hands steady and calm despite the aura of arrogance surrounding him. Marcus smirked, seeing her humble uniform, and in front of the patrons he mocked her, saying she was lucky to serve someone like him. Laughter echoed through the hall, and Sofia's cheeks burned, but her eyes didn't waver. Deep inside she held a secret strength, a knowledge Marcus would soon regret ignoring. He believed power was only measured in dollars and influence. But the truth Sofia carried would not only humble him. It would unravel a life built on arrogance and control, exposing what money could never buy: respect, dignity, and the quiet power of truth. Sofia grew up in a small neighborhood where people struggled for every meal, and dreams were often crushed by reality. She worked multiple jobs to help her family, learning resilience before she even understood the word. Marcus, in contrast, lived in a world of opulence, surrounded by sycophants who feared his temper. He believed that wealth could bend the world to his will, and that anyone with less could never challenge him. When Sofia accidentally spilled a drink on his expensive suit, he humiliated her publicly, relishing the moment as others watched in silence. But Sofia wasn't just another powerless face. She carried a mind sharp enough to see through the illusion of money and arrogance. Her silent determination ignited a spark that Marcus could not foresee. The girl he thought was beneath him would soon become a force that would question everything he believed about power, control, and respect. Days passed, and Marcus continued his visits to the restaurant, expecting flawless service and obedient smiles. Sofia, however, maintained her composure, serving him efficiently but without fear. Each time he attempted to intimidate her, she responded with calm words, subtle enough not to anger him but firm enough to make him question his assumptions. Curious whispers began among the patrons and staff. Why didn't she crumble under his arrogance? One evening, Marcus demanded a rare wine, insisting Sofia fetch it from the locked cellar alone. She obeyed but left a note on his table, unnoticed by everyone else. When he finally read it, his confident smirk faltered. The note contained evidence of his company's unethical practices, proof that Marcus exploited workers and manipulated markets without remorse. The revelation stunned him, but Sofia wasn't finished. She approached him quietly, explaining that power measured only in money was hollow, and respect and trust were earned through actions, not wealth. Marcus, humiliated in front of the staff, finally understood the truth she spoke. The irony struck him. The waitress he ridiculed held the very thing he lacked. Anger flared in his eyes, but he couldn't retaliate. Sofia had documents, witnesses, and media contacts ready. She exposed his wrongdoings, forcing a public apology and major reforms in his empire. Marcus's arrogance had blinded him, and Sofia's quiet intelligence humbled him completely. Patrons watched as the man who once ruled through fear became a lesson in humility. Sofia, instead of seeking revenge, chose to teach, using her knowledge, courage, and integrity to prove that wealth could never replace character. The restaurant became a symbol, a place where respect for humanity outweighed the glitter of gold. Marcus learned a lesson no money could buy, and Sofia emerged not just as a waitress, but as a beacon of truth, dignity, and the power of standing firm against injustice. Months later, Marcus walked past the same restaurant, now transformed with new management and staff who treated everyone with fairness. Sofia, smiling warmly at each guest, stood behind the counter, confident and serene. The man who once humiliated her now carried the weight of lessons learned the hard way. When he tried to approach her, she simply nodded politely, showing no resentment but unwavering strength. Her actions spoke louder than any words. Humility and truth are more powerful than wealth and arrogance. Marcus realized that the applause he once craved could never replace the respect he had lost. Sofia had not only exposed his faults, but had inspired others to stand firm against injustice, showing that courage and integrity create lasting influence. As she watched a young girl being helped to her first job in the restaurant, Sofia knew that real power was measured not in gold, but in the lives one touches and the truth one upholds.